What's up? How's everybody doing? Sorry I'm late. What do we got going on? Streamlabs dashboard. Google. How's everybody doing today? All right. Anybody there? Hello, everybody. Hello, Internet. Hi, Internet. Hi, YouTube people. Let's tune in here. Let's get the live control room. Nothing. Huh. All right. Well, can you see and hear me all right? Nothing? No? Hey, what's up, Zach Davis? How you doing? Taj Marie, right on. Thank you guys for joining me on a Saturday. This is iced tea. Oh yeah, a little iced tea. Didn't get the notification. Weird. All right. Yeah, I can't. I'm gone all day tomorrow. Busy all day tomorrow, so I couldn't do it. So I figured I was gonna just not do one, but I like doing them. So I figured we should have one. We should get nice things. Right on. There's only 4 of you watching. All right. Don't forget I put Streamlabs in there. All right. Let's do it. All right. Well, there's 4 of us. This is fun. Hey, Kat, what's up? How's Orca Country? Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, like I said, I just tomorrow I'm busy all day, so I can't do it. I like sticking to the Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific, but furloughed. Oh, you have a government job. Oh, that sucks. Excuse me. That sucks. Well, you know, if the Democrats would just let Trump build a border wall to make us all safer, you'd be working. See what happens, liberal? That sucks, Kat. I'm so sorry that a racist border wall is the reason why you can't get work. Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm going to try to stick to the Sundays at 3, but whenever I can, I'd rather do one on Saturday than not do one at all. And I know some people live in the internationally, like Australia. Sometimes this is a little easier because when I do the Sundays, it's Monday there, so they're at work. I don't know. Next week, as I look at the calendar, I should be able to do one next Sunday at, well, no. Ooh. I can't. I can do it next Sunday, but it might have to be earlier in the day because I'll actually be in the Eastern time zone on the 13th, which is a Sunday, and Ron and I fly back that night. But yeah, it might have to be earlier in like noon Eastern or something like that. I'll see. I might do it with Ron on Saturday. We'll figure it out. But Zach gave his grandma tenet of real economics, MMT, is that federal taxes don't fund government spending. Everyone needs to know and understand MMT. Yeah, all right, cool. I've done a lot of MMT videos. That's a good point. So really, this government shutdown is just the government being ridiculous. So as I've talked about in the numerous MMT videos, as I'm slowly starting to wake up, the several with Jeff Epstein from Citizens Media TV. I did one with Fidel Kaboub. Another one, I'm forgetting on his name, a professor in Australia. Well, they call him different things. He's an economics teacher or something. But that's a good point. Can you believe the third largest city in the U.S., Chicago, is also facing water lead poisoning? Oh, man. I did not know that, Oliemi. More than like a G. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. My apologies. No, I didn't. Well, I did not know Chicago was facing lead poisoning. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. But I must say, sadly, I'm not surprised. Because this is what happens. We keep contaminating our water, and we keep doing, when we then keep acting shocked when this happens. Oh, no way. Another city's got contaminated. Weird. Oh, we should privatize more. No, privatization is what causes this crap. Most water, is publicly owned. It's a public waterworks in most cities and states. It's terrifying. Mr. Black, thank you. I'm glad you liked the show. Our Revolution, SBCC, love to Graham, long live Gotham. Right on. Let's make Gotham great again. So there's 9 of you watching. Let's make sure, spread the word on all your social media that I'm live. That can kind of help. And, of course, hit the thumbs up button. I'm sure many of you are still watching. Maybe Jimmy's still live. I don't know. This is some cool news. I will be hosting Annabelle. What's up? I thought you might be able to join us because it's not Monday for you in Australia. I believe it's Sunday for you. It must be 17 Sunday. It's probably noon on Sunday for you, somewhere in there. But I wanted to make this announcement. I will be guest hosting Aggressive Progressives on Tuesday. Jimmy is busy and can't do it. Ron can't do it either, but I will be hosting it. I believe Dave Anthony's going to join me, and we're trying to find one other person. I reached out to Samira Khan from RT, but she's on the East Coast. It was just sort of a stab in the dark that maybe she'd be in LA. But good news from that came is we've set up, we're going to do a Skype interview. So I'm going to interview Samira Khan from RT because I follow her on Twitter and I've watched her on YouTube before. She's got some great perspective on the Middle East. So I'm excited to get that interview. That'll happen next week. But if you are a TYT member, you can watch me live next Tuesday doing Aggressive Progressive. That'll be a lot of fun. I love doing that show. I really love doing that show. So, yeah. And then, of course, oh, Danny Knapp. What's up, Danny? Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Danny Knapp, have you purchased a yellow vest yet? I recommend Walls brand. No, I have not purchased a yellow vest yet, but I have started to see everybody sharing this on social media, and I think it's really cool. This is when social media can be a really excellent thing, because we need to, or we've talked about this a lot on this show since they've started doing the yellow vest protests in France, that we need to organize yellow vest protests here in the States. So yeah, get your yellow vest. I will get one. And the Walls brand, right on. Danny, thank you so much for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles for justice. Boom. If we can get that organized in America, this coordinated protest. I know it's harder here because we don't have Medicare for all, so it's hard for people to protest and strike and walk out of work because they could lose their health care and they need it, which is, of course, you see by design in this country. You know, that's a way they can keep us in line. And Macron is very much a sort of Tony Blair style centrist, from what I understand. I don't know that much about him, but whenever I read stuff or from people in France, right, to tell me about him, that's what I'm hearing. So, oh, Jimmy Dore is still alive. Okay, right on. That makes sense. Yeah, that's why I normally don't do Saturdays, because Jimmy's busy. And I had some other stuff to do earlier today, but I know he goes live at 2 o'clock. So, but Danny, thank you for that, everybody. Get your yellow vests. The movement in France is quite phenomenal. Vive la Revolution. I have a Sugar Shane says, I have a few yellow vests, Norfolk Southern on the back. I don't think that's the type I would use in the march. That's funny. I used to haul out of Norfolk Southern terminals in Chicago all the time. All right on. Danny's a long hauler. You truck driver, Danny? Keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down, brother. That's CB talk. I just learned that. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, Jimmy, those live streams, man, when I did it last Saturday, I love doing his chatter days. They're really cool. And I love doing this too. I love this like community of progressives that we've built up here. And I love to hear all of your thoughts and ideas, and it's really awesome. So thank you all for supporting the show. You can support it as Danny just did. You can go to the Streamlabs. That pays me through PayPal. If you prefer that method, you can do that. There is also the P.O. Box, the Bitcoin wallet. There is a lot of cool stuff. Bitcoin wallet. What was the other thing? The other way. Yeah, there's just a PayPal donation button on my website, grahamelwood.com. And a lot of cool things. So a lot of cool ways to support the show. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. Well, getting back to the Chicago water quality, tying it into Danny Knapp's yellow vest, that is something that we could, that is something to protest at a yellow vest thing. The city of Chicago protested that they have lead in their water. That's something I would protest because it affects everybody. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. It doesn't matter if you're liberal, conservative, pro-life, pro-choice, pro-gun, anti-gun, whatever. Lead in the water is going to be bad for you. BC Thomas, thank you for supporting the show. I saw a thread on Twitter calling Jimmy D a white supremacist. How do we keep fringes from eating our own like this? Thanks at BC Thomas. Man, thanks for bringing that up. It is one of the crazy things that, I remember when I did a live chat with Jimmy a month or so ago, and Mike Preisner and Abby Martin were on it. And, she one time years ago just asked a question about 9/11. And is like on her Wikipedia page is called a 9/11 apologist, and she's been called an anti-Israeli, anti-Semite, all this stuff. See, this is the thing that they do. Is try, because they can't go after, when you're like a progressive populist and you're just calling out the truth, They have to concoct shit. It's like when Jimmy just asked, hey, I want to ask more questions about Seth Rich murder. It seems like there's some questions here. All of a sudden, Jimmy was labeled as pushing the Seth Rich conspiracy theories. So now he's a white supremacist. So they're going to just say whatever crazy crap they can say. They'll take one little clip, one little quote, and oh, Jimmy's a white supremacist. Like it's just madness to me. This is what they do. I mean, look what they did to Julian Assange. Look what they've done time and time again to people. They don't care. So BC, how do we keep the fringes from eating our own like this? Well, one thing, we don't give them any credit or merit. Like, I don't argue with people that think the world is flat. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that's an extreme example, but you think the world is flat. Yeah. Jimmy Dore is Jill Stein is a Russian bot. I mean, I guess you just stick to the facts, retweet a video where Jimmy's, talking about his points, however they say he's a white supremacist, there's bullshit. So they obviously took something out of context, show the whole video. Because that's part of the internet, is everybody just overreacts. They hear one little thing about something or somebody they don't know that much about, and then they go, oh, that's it. Yep, there you go. Susan Sarandon, Russian tool, Russian bot. There you go. Violent burn bros. You're all sexist, violent burn bros. So that's one way to do it, BC Thomas, is absolutely stick to the facts. I know it's hard and it's frustrating when this kind of shit happens, but you got to stick to the facts. The facts are the facts, and there are always going to be people who are going to just say crazy shit. Like, that's always just going to happen. But, it's the sad reality. But thank you for supporting the show, BC. I always thought water testing would be a good organizing tool. If we were clever and could get the government to pay us to do water testing and organize at the same time. Well, that's a great point. Well, water is something that water and labor affect everybody. That's another thing. Now, this ties into what Danny said and what BC just said too, I would say. Call them out for what they're doing. You're calling Jimmy a white supremacist because he's unifying people. He's a threat. He's getting the information out that the corporate media isn't. So you just dismiss the actual accusation and you just say, see, you're saying crazy stuff. Meanwhile, we should be talking about the fact that there's lead in water in now Chicago. There's been lead in Flint, Michigan for what, 5 years now? So that's one way to deal with that. And then organize with the yellow vest. See how it all kind of ties in together? You should have Jordan Sheridan as a special guest. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I wouldn't mind talking to him. Yeah, my favorite is when they call a Jewish person an anti-Semite. That's great. Yeah, nutbags are nutbags, and you move on. I don't give them that much credit. If you get all like what and get drawn into their argument, that's kind of part of what they want. That's kind of what trolls in general want. Whatever they're trolling you about, they're trying to get you to get all crazy, arguey, and because if I argue it, then I'm sort of giving credence to the accusation. Yeah, Cat B, anything to divide our power as a group, we just fight harder. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't give it any credence and you say you're just trying to divide us. This is the tactic. Like, you retweet and go, see, this is what the powerful do when they're threatened. They make crazy accusations to try to divide people. All the shit they tried to do with Bernie. He's sexist. He never was really arrested for the civil rights march. All that stuff. That wasn't him at the sit-in. All that crap. They can't go after your policy, so they have to discredit or smear you. They smear or they buy you when you threaten their power. That's what they do, and they divide and conquer. Since the majority of the Justice Democrats voted for PAYGO, can we call that experiment a failure? Oh, man, I know. The PAYGO thing, God, and I did a video on it. was so disappointing. Now, there was one tweet from Jennifer Briney, who I've had on the show. It's been a year or so since Jennifer's been on. And she said, and she does that podcast, Congressional Dish, and she's very good on that show of unpacking a bill and breaking it down. She tweeted, Graham, it's actually not going to be that big of a deal. And I tweeted back, I hope you're right. So I'm going to try to set up an interview with her to have her try to explain that to me, because what I read from The Intercept and other sources was that PAYGO is a very, very bad and dangerous thing. Some people are saying that it's not that dangerous, and I don't buy that. And it's very telling that the only 3 people that voted against it were Ro Khanna, Tulsi Gabbard, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's very telling. Those 3 are the only ones that voted against it. So, yeah, the Justice Democrats, they've done some good things, but then they kind of, when they were a year ago, when they were like the sex police on everybody, I was just like, eh. So I don't know. Yeah. Getting back to the crazy accusations, they even accused Jeremy Corbyn of being anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel on their policy. Well, that's the go-to. If you criticize any of Israel's policies, the Israeli government, but that's a great tactic. Let me give you some responses to that. I would then go to that organization, and I'm blanking on their name right now, of ex-Israeli soldiers that are like, it's not right how we're treating Palestine. I would quote that several Holocaust survivors have said the way we talk about Palestinians is exactly the way the Germans talked about us in the 1930s. Throw it back on them. Okay, I'm not Jewish. You're calling me an anti-Semite. Here's what these Israelis have said are wrong. Are they anti-Semitic? Argue with them. Bobby says you're not allowed to be a social conservative in Hollywood as far as show business goes. Yeah, that's true. You could also say that 2 of the 3 who voted against it were Justice Dems. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point that Danny Knapp brings up about the Justice Dems in regards to Sugar Shane's comment about the majority of the Justice Dems voted for PAYGO. I don't know. I don't know if that means to bail on Justice Democrats. For me, I use the Justice Democrats just to sort of like, who are they endorsing? And then I'll do my own research. I don't sort of just automatically say the Justice Democrats, yay, go for it. They're the best. And anyone they endorse, I'm down with. It's sort of a nice secondary test to kind of see. But that's up to you. If what happened with the PAYGO thing is enough for you to just bail on the Justice Democrats, that's up to you, I guess, man. Patty tweets, what's up? Annabelle Corley's correct. They want a reaction. Danny Knapp, 2 things are true. If Justice Democrats does good, it's a win. If they fail, it's more proof we need a different option. Both wins. They serve a purpose, whether they succeed or fail. Yeah. We're gathering receipts on how bad the Democratic Party is either way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing I've talked about on this show that a lot of people have talked about when, like when Ocasio-Cortez and all those like, so-called progressives won, it's like, well, let's not. A lot of them are new. They're freshmen. They've never been in Congress. So let's see how they vote. That's the only thing to go on. Tweets and stuff are nice, but their website, okay, but let's see how they vote. That's really going to tell you who they are. And maybe somebody like, what is it? Our Voice, I believe. They just, you type in what your values are, and they'll tell you where maybe a candidate or not a candidate or even just an elected official is like within 90% of what is important to you. And maybe that's enough for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe the 10 or 5 or 10% that they're not voting in line with you are things that really are awful. We're running out of time for the environment, so I don't know. Check out $27. He's a great YouTuber from Scotland. Okay, cool. Cool. Jimmy had Ralph Nader on as a guest, and he has a book and website, Rats Reform Congress. He started that lobbying and town halls are even more effective than protests. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. Thanks for putting that, Taj Marie. Yeah, Jimmy's had great guests on, man, the last 6 months or so. It's like, I mean, even the last couple months, it's been Jill Stein. He's had Chris Hedges, you know. It's been Richard Wolff. I mean, Nader, all that stuff is great. So that's a good point. Well, I think that, you know, especially when you say the town halls thing. So we saw how pretty effective the town halls have been with, especially for Medicare for All. You saw a lot of leading up to this midterm, a lot of Republicans running in red states started talking about, well, we need Medicare for all. Before they were like, we got to get rid of Obamacare. You know, it's putting your grandmother in a deathbed or whatever. And then and then all these people showed up in their red districts in these town halls going, yeah, it's effective. Look, those politicians, all those videos of those politicians in these standing room only town halls going, they're like, oh shit. They're not used to seeing that many people pay attention. So I think going to town halls is very, very effective. I mean, and Nader would know. Yeah, I like iced tea. He stated that it is far more effective to face politicians face to face. That's absolutely right. Here's how it works. The politicians just want to keep you at arm's length and give you lip service and a campaign speech or a TV commercial, but they don't want to see, oh, you send emails in or phone calls. Oh, a bunch of crackpots called my office. I'm going to vote no matter what because I got this big lobbying check. But you start showing up and saying we're going to vote you out, they get scared. That's every politician's number one fear is losing and getting voted out, losing their office, losing their power. So let them know. Vote them out. Vote them out. Many town halls forbid public in their meetings. Yeah, stand outside and protest. The protests, Grandma Christine 42, the protests make the politicians more likely to listen to you when you go face to face, I think. I believe so. I mean, look, you're in a room full of people that are angry that they don't have health care. You better, it's like, uh-oh. You're going to wake up. You get in people's face. During the Kavanaugh hearings, they got in that one guy's face and he was like, okay, we're going to investigate him. It was only a week and it was kind of bullshit, but they got in his face enough to go, uh-oh. They're terrified of that. They know there's more of us than there are of them. That's why they're trying to divide us. That's why suddenly Jimmy's a white supremacist or whatever. Jill Stein's a Russian bot. Because if we all get together, which we're doing on shows like this and Jimmy's and elsewhere and Empire Files and stuff like that, they're going, uh-oh. They're watching what's happening in France and they're going, uh-oh. So it's great. You sent me a yellow vest vid on Twitter. Can I show it? People losing their mind on AOC dance videos, hysterical, get a grip on what's really important. Oh, God. I know. I retweeted that. I was like, oh, no, a teenager's dancing to that demon rock and roll? Oh, Elvis with his suggestive hips. That's the devil's music. Let me find that on Twitter. All right. There it is. Can you hear that? Let me turn this up. Oh, that's way too big. Wow. That guy knows how to brawl. Woo! I don't know, maybe we should see that one again. Yeah, let's watch that again. This big cage fighter looking cat. Boom! Woo. That guy knows how to throw punches, I'll tell you that. That cop's small. I just worry, like, American cops are way more itching to shoot people. Wow. Wow. How do let me go up here. Yeah. And exit out of this. Where? Thank you for thank you for showing us that, Patty. Woo! Man, that's fantastic. He was just like, he was a fighter, man. He was like, boom, boom. He wasn't like, he was throwing solid punches. Like that guy, he just used that one cop as a heavy bag. Maybe that cop was smaller. Maybe that guy's just massive. Yeah. That's this beanie stays on. You see him just like that guy's had some training. That was fantastic. Wow. That was fantastic. Look at this guy. That's the world champ right there. Yeah, he must be a boxer. Gillette Janoons, whatever. I don't speak French. Wow, that was great. His beanie stays on. That's tolerance by police, Cat B said. I still have eye problems from the gas at Standing Rock. Oh, man. Cat, you were at Standing Rock? Good for you for going. I'm sorry you got gassed. I'm so sorry. But good for you, man. That's, I know I just called a girl man. I say man and dude and bro a lot. Please don't take that personally. Oh, wait, I'm going to bring this over here. Thanks for going up there, Kat. Thanks for going up there. Good for you. Shadows Zach 09 Shave the Knuckles for Justice. I live in Indiana, watched your video about the former governor in Indiana, Mitch Daniels, and how much money he makes. It's ridiculous. That's too much money. The previous president produced, she only made $250,000 a year. Yeah. So thank you so much for supporting the show, first of all. And I did a video because it's an op-ed piece. If you haven't watched it, it says, rich journalist says everything's fine, basically. This guy, Mitch Daniels, who is the former governor of Indiana and is now currently the head of Purdue University, which is in West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue is part of the Big Ten. He writes this op-ed piece that he's like, there's no, every 20 years, everybody thinks there's all this gloom and doom. Everything's great. And then I researched, he makes $830,000 a year to run a state university. That is an obscene amount of money. And thank you, Shadow Zach 09, for telling us that the former head, a woman, was getting $250,000 a year. $250,000, I think, is about the ceiling for what the head of a university should make. $830 is about almost $70,000 a month. $70,000 a month is $840,000. So whatever that makes it, 68, something like that, 69.5 or some shit like that. Oh, it's so offensive to me. And his article is so condescending. This guy clearly is so out of touch. Just a rich white guy. Everything's great. What's everyone complaining about? Doesn't care what's going on in Yemen or the Middle East. Doesn't care what's going on in his own country. Doesn't care what's going just up the road from West Lafayette and Flint. Doesn't care at all. Doesn't care. It's just, if you haven't watched it, please watch it. Thank you, Shadow Zach, for supporting the show. I really appreciate it. Sam Dean. Good day, fool. We should Skype. Happy New Year and all that too. Cheers. Thank you, Sam. Thanks for joining us. I know you're in Australia. It's Sunday afternoon there. Everybody from all over. Real quick, if you want, everybody put in where you're at, the city or state or wherever you're feeling comfortable telling everyone you're from, because I like reading off all the places to show everything. So thank you, Sam Dean, for supporting the show. So Sam, are you Aussie rules football or are you rugby? What's your favorite? Because I know that's sort of a northern Australia is more rugby and southern Australia is more Aussie football, or footy, as you guys call it. And you all like cricket. Thank you, Shadowzach09. Nashville, Portland, Oregon, Illinois, Eureka, Illinois, London, UK. Thank you, SoCal, Corona, Cali, right on. Inside the HEP office in Moscow, Balthazar228. I knew you were a Russian bot. Dos vidanya, Balthazar. Tell Putin I said hi. Probably talking to Jill Stein right now. Durham, North Carolina, Research Triangle. Right on. You guys are fantastic. Brian Cross, just love a pissed off Jimmy Dore show. How are you, Graham? I'm good. Thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for jumping over from Jimmy. I appreciate it. We currently have 50 people watching, 19 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up and like button. Dos vidanya. What's up? Farmville, Virginia, Santa Barbara. Thank you for joining over from Jimmy Dore. Brazil. Oi! Oi, brasileiro. Muito bom. Bem-vindo. Bem-vindo, meu amigo. Could you see Bernie Tulsi? Could you see Bernie Tulsi ticket happening in 2020? Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think we might see it. Bernie, I don't know. Now that Liz Warren is getting in there, I don't know. I'd like to see it. Sam Dean, how many pesticides do you think it will take to repair the worldview of American politics? I say at least 2. Oh, how many presidencies? I read pesticides. Same thing. Well, it depends on who the next president is, Sam. If it's like Bernie and Tulsi, as somebody just suggested, then it could change really quickly. If a new progressive White House gets in there, so that would mean we would have a progressive cabinet. We'd have progressive ambassadors assigned all over the world. And even if we had whatever in the House and Senate, Republican, corporate Democrat, we would still be getting a lot of stuff passed and a lot of changes would happen. And I think the world might go, okay, you might be right. It might be like, we got to see if this guy gets reelected or who follows whoever the president is. That could happen. If it's a real progressive like Bernie, that's just like FDR, like their first 100 days, they're just like, we're passing this law, this law, this law, and we're making it happen. We're pushing the Green New Deal. Then everyone might get it back on board with America. I don't know. It's a good question, though. Bozeman, Montana, Portlandia. Yeah, Bernie Sanders and Nina Turner as the VP. What's up, Mike S. Moose Cow. So you said there's new news on Pago. I didn't know. I don't know if there's new news. Danny Knapp. This was something German. Pago bill is coming from Rep. Jay Appeal to repeal it. Okay, that sounds like good news. Beatrice Pierre, watch the ads and hit the thumbs up. Absolutely right, guys. Whenever you watch my videos, let the ads play all the way through. Don't click skip ad. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. And go thumbs up on all the videos. Even comments, the more videos get likes, views, and comments, the more YouTube then promotes them. So even just a smiley face or a thumbs up or thanks or whatever. I mean, you want to leave me a full comment, go for it. I I read all of them. I can't respond to all of them. So right on. If only Roe, AOC, and Tulsi voted no on PAYGO, does that mean Tlaib voted yes? Yep, that's exactly what that means, Balthazar 228. I'm almost positive. Patty tweets. Thank you. Trump staff got a $10,000 raise while Fed employees are unpaid. It's such a slap in the face. TSA is calling out sick instead of working without pay. Watching from Astoria, Queens, New York. Right on, man. Patty, thank you so much for supporting the show. I very much appreciate that. And also, you're helping us find a venue in New York City, so I very much appreciate that. We are going to be in New York City. Yeah, that's Trump, you know, and are the Democrats going to buckle and give him a little bit of a wall or something like that? You know, the PAYGO thing is this new democratically elected Congress, just, that's what they did. They just like, whoop, whoop, you know, and it's, yeah. And then that's what Trump does. Staff got a $10,000 raise while the federal employees are unpaid. He's unreal. And I don't know if and I'm sure his diehard followers are like, ha ha, yeah, but there's got to be some. But that's what Trump is doing, is blaming it all on the Democrats. So the diehard Trumpers that work for the federal government are probably like, yeah, the Democrats, if they just let them build a wall. It's crazy how we're treating people at the wall. It's insane. And there's no way, if someone calls themselves a Christian, they would be in favor of that. It's inhumane what we're doing. So thank you for supporting the show, Patty tweets, and letting us know. I didn't know about that. TSA is calling out sick. Well, I fly Tuesday night to Florida. We'll see what the airport looks like then. Don't forget, we're coming to Florida next week, January 9th through the 12th. Gainesville, Coral Gables, Orlando, and Jacksonville. Go to GrahamElwood.com for tickets. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you, ShadowZach09, Indiana. Sanders Turner 2020. I'm done with that. Jana Kelton, Vegas checking in. Did you hear Warren hired a black woman for chief of staff? That means you're racist and sexist because you don't vote for her. Yeah, I know. They're just going to still keep playing the identity politics, and they still keep thinking that works. They're still going to try to do that. So how's it going to work? If I don't support Liz Warren for president, but I support Tulsi, am I sexist? How does that work? Or am I a Russian stooge or whatever? Bethany Hunt. Graham, get the killer military robot story on a Jimmy Dore. It's a mind fuck and needs to be heard by as many people as possible. You got it, Bethany. C. Blaine didn't get notified. Missed the first 38 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for, hit the bell notification. You may or may not, they might not notify you, but also the best way is to follow me on Twitter at Graham Elwood. I post it on my Instagram and on my Facebook fan page too when I'm going to go in the mornings on either Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to try to really stick to Sunday at 3. Next weekend will not be possible to do Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific. That I know for certain because we're traveling Sunday night. So that would be 6. That would be 6 o'clock East Coast time. But just follow my social media and I'll let you know. We like the show here in Denmark. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Renee Hermans. Thank you. Graham, it's all over Twitter. Justice Democrats are co-sponsoring the bill. Oh, this is the repealed PAYGO. Good. I hope so. I hope the backlash, I think this is going back, my guess is because so many people were active in calling their representatives that they better backpedal on that. And I hope they repeal that because people are going to, that's the thing going back to Nader. Vote. I mean, I called Ted Lieu, my congressman, and I got an actual person, and I said, I'm urging Congressman Lieu to vote no on PAYGO. And they go, thank you, I'll let him know. And I go, and if he votes yes, I'm going to campaign against him. And the guy went, all right. That's all the guy responded. So that's the thing you got to say. I'm going to campaign against you. I'm going to try to vote you out. I'm going to try to get you out of office. So thanks for bringing that. Jana Kelton, all the federal employees should strike. Absolutely. Go on strike. When they come back, go on strike. Annabelle Corley, there was a Nazi rally in Melbourne, Australia. Ugh, awful. Almost every administration has disrespected federal employees. Even under Obama, Fed employees have had to deal with pay freeze. Yep. Vermont, Brett Smith, how are you? Come to Seattle, brother. I was there in August. I would love to come back. Layered Life. Pelosi said $15 an hour in her first 100 hours. Okay, let's see if she actually does it. She's really good at the lip service. She does pass some bill for $15 an hour. There'll be something hidden in there that benefits her, you know, country club or some shit like that. Kilana Katsuda. Yeah, we'll try to come back to Seattle. We're going to come up there. Ooh, viewer count has grown to 93. Right on. It's grown by 30. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button. Boom, boom, pow. Just heard on Jimmy Dore that the PAYGO rule allows the PAYGO law to be waived. Otherwise, Congress is stuck with it. Not sure about the truth of this, was a viewer who mentioned it. Yeah, I've heard some of that, and I'm not sure. That's the thing I was talking about at the top of this super chat, that Jennifer Briney from Congressional Dish said that. I'd like to know more about that because I can't get anything solid about that. But I'm glad they're trying to repeal it. Beatrice Pierre, Graham Elmwood. It's Elwood, E-L-W, Elmwood. I don't know. It's in the title of my show. Scientist Guy McPherson says we will go extinct by 2026. Oh, wow. That's quick. 7 years. I think that might be a little alarmist. I think everything that I'm seeing is by the end of the century, like in the next 80 years, it could be by 2100, it could be, if not completely extinct, like looking really bad. That's what I've heard. 2026, I don't, unless there's some like meteor or something that's coming. But just all life on Earth being completely dead in 7 years, it would have to be World War III or a meteor or something to do that, in my opinion. If the TSA and airport employees went on strike, that would get politicians' attention. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to start seeing more strikes and more walkouts and stuff. People are organizing the yellow vests. I think we're going to see that. I have a question how to be in the Ellie. I don't know what that means. Taylor Sprouse, will you keep the videos while you go out on tour? Absolutely. So I'll try to pre-record a little bit. Obviously, I won't be able to do this setup, but I will be doing videos in my room, in my hotel rooms, and also, you know, Patreon subscribers are going to get behind-the-scenes videos with Ron and I, and I'm going to be releasing, you know, I've been doing 2 videos a day, and I'm going to try to keep that up on the road, absolutely, because I like doing this, and I want to keep giving you guys stuff. It'll be a little stripped down, like it'll just be me, you know, sitting in front of my laptop in my hotel room talking about stuff. I won't be able to do the graphics and all that other stuff that I get to do, but I'll still be releasing videos. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the plan. And I'm going to get interviews on the road and stuff like that. Like I've set up an interview with Samira Khan next week. And, you know, we're going to get Nico House is going to open up for us in Coral Gables. So I'm going to try to get some interviews. Some of the stuff I did on the other road tours, like we had the guy from Veterans for Peace at a show. I got an interview with him. I've emailed the Green Party of Florida and see if they bring people down to the show. So I'll try to get interviews with them. Also, I'm going to bring this fancy camera that I use. Well, you're watching me on a web camera, but the camera I normally use for the show, I'm going to bring that with me in a tripod and try to get fan interviews after the shows and stuff like that. So I'll be dropping content. It'll be a little different than this, but I'll still be dropping content for sure. Did you hear about the For the People's Act about the election reform? Yes, I did hear about that, Moose Gal, and I think that's great. The fact that we're we're talking about election reform, that's huge. That's big. John Updike, the head of Open Primaries, the non-for-profit that I've worked for, did a op-ed piece in thehill.com talking about how a 50-state open primary is within reach for 2020. It's not that outlandish. So it'd be great if that happened. Can you do a super chat at your last show on the Progressive Tour? Can't make it live, Jordan Bailey. That probably won't be possible. Here's why. I don't like putting my whole act online. I like putting little clips of my act. I'm going to record at some point in this first 6 months of the year, a new album and video special, and I'm going to release them at the same time so you can download the album or watch the special. So I don't want to put my whole act online for free. And also it's a special event. So you got to come. If you can't make it live, I'm sorry. We'll try to do as many shows as we can, but it's really, I want the people that bought the ticket for the live show to get this very unique experience that you can only get from coming to a live show. I'll show clips from it and stuff like that, but we're not going to broadcast the whole show. Sorry. The Dems have none of the Dems have a reason, excuse not to govern or do anything useful for the American people. Yep. Sakir Abdullah, I have a question. How to be in the elite? Boy, I don't know. Get $1 billion? Renee Hermit's the walls that keeps USA citizens from running away. That's probably true. Okay, here's the difference between the PAYGO rule and the PAYGO Act. All right, I'm going to open this up. The House is returning to PAYGO January 4th. All right, I'm going to read this for you. Thank you for putting this up here, by the way. Budget process rules like pay-as-you-go or PAYGO help ensure that fiscal considerations are an important part of policymaking. PAYGO mandates that legislation increasing mandatory spending or decreasing revenues to fully offset by other spending or revenue changes so that it does not add to the budget deficit. Oh, it'd be great if Congress knew about MMT. Versions of PAYGO exist in both statutory law as well as the rules of the Senate and now the House. The House PAYGO rule replaced a variation of the rule known as CUTGO. The CUTGO rule took a similar approach as PAYGO, but only applied to mandatory spending programs. Increases in mandatory spending could only be offset with other equal or greater decreases in mandatory spending. As a result, legislation involving tax cuts were not subject to the same level of discipline. Replacing CUTGO with PAYGO will help prevent policymakers from passing fiscally irresponsible legislation. That I do not agree with. Frequently asked questions, what is PAYGO? PAYGO is a budget enforcement mechanism put in place to ensure that new legislation doesn't add to the deficit. PAYGO requires that decreases in revenues, like a tax cut, or increases in mandatory spending, like a new entitlement program, must be fully offset by other increases in revenue or decreases in mandatory spending so that new legislation is deficit neutral. Does this apply to the military? There are two different forms of PAYGO. A statutory PAYGO enacted in law and rules established by both houses of Congress. Statutory PAYGO was first enacted in 1990 as part of legislation to reduce large deficits. The original statute expired in 2002. It was restored in the statute as the Pay-as-you-go Act of 2010. PAYGO rules, on the other hand, exist separately in the House and Senate as a way to guide each chamber's budget activities. The Senate pay-go rule was implemented in 93 and remains in effect today. The House pay-go rule was implemented in 2007 at the behest of Nancy Pelosi, replaced with the cut-go rule in January 11 and reinstated January 19. How does pay-go work? Pay-go law requires that the Office of Management and Budget track the projected 5 and 10-year average costs of each newly enacted bill that affects mandatory spending or revenues on what are known as pay-go scorecards. If the sum of all projected costs for pay-go bills are given in a given year is greater than zero, a sequestration, cancellation of budgetary resources, would be ordered to certain mandatory spending programs to offset that cost. However, a pay-go sequestration can be averted if Congress waives it or resets the scorecards to zero. A pay-go rule applies to individual pieces of legislation being considered in a given chamber of Congress. Under such a rule, if a piece of legislation is found to increase the deficit over a 6 or 11-year period, a point of order may be raised and the bill no longer continue in the legislative process. See how you can kill something like Medicare for All or Green New Deal? The cost estimates for legislation are usually produced by the Congressional Budget Office and transmitted to the Budget Committee or the House or the Senate. What's the difference between the pay-go law and the pay-go rule? The primary difference of the two versions of the pay-go is that the law measures the sum of all legislative changes to mandatory spending and revenues during a fiscal year, and any increase in the deficit is offset through sequestration. A pay-go rule, however, applies to each bill individually when it is being proposed and enforced by a point of order. So, the pay-go rule was just reinstated. So that's what they're saying. That's the difference, is because this is a pay-go rule, you could waive it for things like Medicare for All or Green New Deal. That's the thing I believe Jennifer Briney was trying to tell me on Twitter, that it's not as bad as people think. I still don't like it. And is enforced by a point of order, the pay-go rule. Each version of pay-go works differently to promote fiscal responsibility. The pay-go rules in the House and Senate aim to discourage the consideration of legislation that would add to the deficit as a bill being proposed. In that sense, it encourages legislators to consider the policies individually, and if they are a priority, find a way to pay for them. The pay-go law, on the other hand, takes a broader view by looking at full year's actions. It discourages policymakers from avoiding fiscal responsibility by requiring sequestration if a set of actions during the year would have increased the deficit. In either case, the pay-go requirement can be waived, but providing two hurdles to clear may increase the likelihood of fiscal responsibility. Well, that's interesting. Thank you for putting that up there, C. Blaine. All right. You need the House rule to use the law. Pelosi wants it waives. Yeah, fiat currency creates fiat debt. It's worth noting that pay-go in no way stops them from raising minimum wage to a living wage. I think they should shove 15 an hour up Trump's ass, making explain why booming economy isn't wages. Yeah, that's a great point. Sid Finch. I think the current mega corporations are going to use the catastrophe of climate change to go for the big one, the global power grab of clean drinking water. Good luck. AOC and Rokon understand MMT, absolutely. All right. Pay-go is fine. Tons of military excess BS to cut. Where do we get going? Yeah, I mean, that's a great concept. I'd love to see that if that's what they're going to, I mean, if that's how they use pay-go, we want Medicare for all. How are we going to pay for it? We're going to cut military. I mean, if they understood MMT, you wouldn't need any of this nonsense, which Bernie understands because he had Stephanie Kelton. AOC gets it. But it's a big pill to swallow when you've thought everything was financed through taxes, and then you first learned MMT. I mean, it took me a while to kind of get it. I still get it. If we could do our taxes go, nothing into war, weapons of the Pentagon, absolutely. How to meet aliens, I don't know. Ready for more austerity on workers? Here comes Pelosi. Yeah, they won't cut the Pentagon or oil company subsidies or Israel, but they will cut schools and water treatment. Yeah, that's the problem I have. That's the fear I have with the PAYGO, is that's how they'll use it. Well, you want Medicare for all, then no more schools, like they're going to do that because God forbid we cut the military. I'm very leery of a lot of these Democrats, and especially these freshman Democrats. They're all, all the diversity is great. That's all great. But if they're going to just vote corporate policy, it doesn't matter. Balthazar 228, it's incrementalism to fix a problem that doesn't exist. How can we have a public debate with Joseph Stiglitz, Kelton, and Nobel Prize winner at Princeton? I'd love to have that. Bethany Hunt, the article you're reading is economically illiterate. Oh, all right. Good to know. It's my favorite strain. I don't smoke weed. Dutch tree. We need to demand repealing the Electoral College. They say the big one is supposed to hit in 2025. Won't. I often wonder if the big one will hit the moon. Yeah. I love the AOC Breakfast Club video. Your thoughts on the GOP fail to attack her. I mean, it shows how dumb the right wing is. And how old and out of touch they are when they're like, look at her dancing. That's what she's going to bring hula hoops and poodle skirts into Congress. It's such a dumb thing, but it's also a great distraction, right? Everyone's all bent out of shape about the video or about what the Fox News says about the video. And we're not talking about how, everybody voted for PAYGO. Matthew O. Graham, what do you think of the idea of a wage cap to curb inequality? That's one way. I'm all for listening to a bunch of really intelligent economists have a conversation on how we can do this. Ocasio-Cortez just said we should tax the billionaires 70%. I don't know if that's it. Maybe there is a wage cap. Maybe you have to there's a wage cap for the top earners, and you have to give a large percentage of your company back to your employees. I mean, that would be great. I did that video on worker cooperatives, that legislation that was just passed. I mean, as an idea, I'm open to it. I want to see a Green New Deal with a federal jobs guarantee and universal basic income tied into that. And, a wage cap to curb inequality would be great. So hi, Natalie. That's a great, I'm open to it. Again, the Justice Dems behind a bill repealing PAYGO. Rashida Tlaib tweeted about it. That explains a lot. You are still here, Sam Dean. I volunteer in my studio in high-speed video for shows while they're touring Iowa and southern Minnesota. You got it. 100 are watching. Nice. Look at that. Don't forget, guys, you can support the show on Streamlabs or with the Super Chats. Ooh, we got one. Green thongs. If France can force change through yellow vests, can we force change through green Borat style thongs? I guess you didn't check out my video I sent you about how to put the donation link in the description. I know, dude. I know. Your Balazar 228. Thank you for supporting the show. it was a holiday week and friends in town, and you sent me that video. I got it. I will pay attention to it. I apologize for not doing. I just didn't have the time. It's been kind of a crazy week, and then we're going on the road next week, and I got this big thing I'm doing tomorrow. I'll do it. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Hell no, pay go. Haha. Thank you for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles. Look at him. Shaved. Pay go to fix cut go is incrementalism to fix a problem that doesn't exist. Just because it's better doesn't mean it's useful and necessary. If you voted for it, you just turned in your progressive card. Ditto for Pelosi. Yeah, I agree on that. You know what I mean? It is more of this incrementalism nonsense that they sell us on, you know. That's their game. The Republicans got Cutco, but we brought in Paygo, which is better. Yeah, I agree, man. Thanks for supporting the show. Going back to the big companies wanting to buy up the water, Nestle is already doing that. It's a good point. Nope, can't donate. PC now. Something is wrong, mate. Don't worry about it, Sam Dean. You've helped out this show a lot. You paid me to sing Love Boat. I'm forever indebted to you for that. It's exciting and new. Come aboard, Sam. We're expecting you. It's love. The Love Boat. Grandma Christine 42, the billionaire could avoid tax good by investing in starting up something that hires many people instead of whatever. Yeah, that's a great thing. There's a lot of smart solutions out there. I'm ready. I'm not an economist. I'd love to hear some economists come up with that. Like, man, we got 104 people watching, 70 thumbs up. You guys are rad. Yeah, that'd be great. Like, you know, you don't have to pay as much taxes if you reinvest in jobs and businesses and give your employees benefits, you know. That'd be a great thing I'm always in favor of of rewarding good behavior versus punishing bad. Because when you punish bad, in some ways we need that, but it just encourages people to try to duck around it or whatever. If it's like, if you do this really good thing, you're going to benefit for it. Then I think it's better because people are more encouraged to be helpful because they get some sort of tax break for it. I'm all for that. What's up, String Cheese? Yeah, Sam, you want to donate and can't? Can you go to the Streamlabs? Streamlabs.com/Graham Elwood. If you go there, you can donate through Streamlabs. If somehow the dollar thing isn't working. Let me go back to Streamlabs. Well, look, dude, if you can, great. If you can't, you know, I always appreciate it. And however the easiest way for you to donate, go for it. But if it's, you know, it's too much of a problem. Nick. Even the good billionaires like Nick Hanauer won't commit. Nader says 100 million gets anything through Congress. That won't do it. No commitment. Yeah, that's a good point. And they just want to control everything. Yeah, they could invest in green energy and create thousands of jobs. Yeah, and be heroes. Absolutely. That was the one thing in the interview that I was skeptical about. That's interesting. Gabriel 3 Gas. Breaking news on Paygo. What is this? Breaking news on Paygo. Oh, I'll put this up there. All right, guys, this is from Repro and Pramila.
Jayapal, let's get rid of PayGo completely today. Introduce legislation to get rid of this nonsensical loan that is bad for our economy and for working people. Corrected. Oh, wow. I bet you she heard about that. So many people, myself included, when everyone was like, yay, diversity, and everyone was like, well, you just voted for PayGo, which is awful. So, all right. Right on. There we go. Let me bring this back here. Nice. Okay. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Moose Gal. Live news. Live news. Breaking news. Graham Elwood. Brian Williams leaning in with my elbow and my eyebrow. You know I'm serious. Hey, let's introduce legislation, remove bad legislation we were told not to approve and did anyway. My guess is some of these freshman Congress representatives were just so excited, and they're in Congress, and they're taking all these selfies, and everybody's cheering, and they're like, yay, and they didn't realize. And then because a lot of them are younger, and so they're on Twitter a lot, and they're seeing all these people on Twitter going, why did you vote for PayGo? And they went, oh, we need to repeal this. That's my guess. I can't confirm that, but that's my guess. And if that is correct, look at the influence we all have. Bethany Hunt, contact Dems and tell them to support anti-PayGo legislations. Absolutely. I say unclassify military-sized patents and really go green. Breaking news. Hey, everybody. What's up, Marsha? Yeah, I can't do tomorrow, Marsha, so I just decided to do this, and it was kind of a last-minute thing. 100% Canadian maple stir up. Why can't YouTube add a Visa card or Visa virtual debt option? A lot of people could donate easier, probably because PayPal gets some kind of financial gain from the deal. LOL. Not trying to bug you, Graham. No, it's a good point. I see what you're saying. I just think I'll put this back up there. Well, I mean, these money processors got to get some to taste somehow. I'll put this back up there if this works. This is held for review. Hi, Marsha. It's a news story on Five Eyes and oh boy. The progressive movement is working. Now we're fixing net neutrality. Absolutely. Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. If I haven't said it already, Happy New Year. Don't forget, we got 108 people. Don't forget, you can go to grahamelwood.com. Progressive Comedy Tour. We're adding dates all the time. We're going. I'm going to be headlining in Chicago the end of February. We're going to Florida next week. We're going to Louisiana and Pensacola in March. In April, we're going to Texas. In May, we're going to Salt Lake City and Boise. And June, we're going to the East Coast. We already have a DC date, so check that out. Sam Dean, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for supporting the show. Boom. If Trump can't control the spice, what will happen to Dune? Man, I did not think we were going to get a Dune reference on today's show. I didn't wake up this morning and go, oh, God, I hope we get a Dune reference. But thank you, Sam. That's clearly, I mean, Dune is, it's read the books or watch the movie a little long. But that's a good, I know you're making a joke, but it's actually a good point. Because the spice in our world is the oil and the money. And if he loses control of that because everybody circumvents him with a Green New Deal, he's got no power. the fossil fuel lobby knows this. They know that's why they're doubling down on oil and climate change denying, and that's why they're doubling down on it, because they know the end is near for them. Other massive countries are pivoting away from this. China's pivoting away from it. India's pivoting away. These are huge cultures. These are huge markets. I mean, there's 1.5 billion in China. There's almost 1 billion people in India. Huge portion, giant, are just saying, we're saying no to oil. So it's actually bring up a good point, Sam. And thank you for supporting the show tonight. Mate, come on. I got to talk Aussie with you. I don't understand cricket. I will never understand cricket. I tried. I don't get it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. The spice must flow. Nice. I will bring bonus for Chicago area showgoers, but I need to decide which show to go to. I'm leaning towards St. Charles. Snork Y2K. He thought, yeah, come to the shows in Chicago. It's not a progressive show, but I'm headlining, so I'm doing 45-minute sets, and I'll be there. Those shows will be a lot of fun. I love working all those different Zanies clubs, so come on out. Shai Hulud. 30-foot walls can't contain Shai Hulud. I wish they would release the full cut of the Dune movie. Originally, it was about 3 hours long, and they made, what's the director's name again? He cut it and it became incomprehensible. Yeah, I know. China and India together are half the world's population. Almost, not entirely. Cricket is great to watch live. I don't watch it normally, but went to a small game in Adelaide. It was very relaxing. Okay. St. Charles is 10 minutes from my son's house, but his internet sucks. No, I'll be all right with the internet in my hotel rooms. It'll be all right, guys. They did release it, and now we're talking. The Harkonnen are the oligarchy puppets, Congress. The miniseries on Sci-Fi was good. I heard about that. The difference between cricket and baseball is 45 gallons of spit and a half ton of seed husks. Viva la Ichiro. The Emperor is the banks and the other elite pricks, absolutely. Did you hear Gillibrand calling Wall Street execs for 2020 run? I did not hear about that. Yeah, I have not heard about that. No one understands cricket. It's just an excuse to spend a pleasant day drinking beer and eating ice cream. You could say the same thing about baseball. I love baseball, but there's a lot of people don't really get, home run, beer, strike out, hot dog. There you go. Sorry for the typos. What day live stream usually anyone can answer to alleviate Graham? I normally do the live stream Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific. Next weekend, that won't be possible. Still might do it Sunday earlier in the day, just because I will be on East Coast time next Sunday. Or I might do it on Saturday. I'm not sure. Probably Sunday. I'll just do it Sunday, but earlier in the day. Like maybe noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern or something like that. But normally I'm going to try to stick to Sundays at 3. I've been doing that for a long time. Every once in a while, like today, it's got to be at a different time. But again, follow me on social media at Graham Elwood on Instagram and Twitter, and then facebook.com/Graham Elwood Comedy is my fan page, and I announce it there as well. So I'm talking about the Dune movie. Oh, Star Wars marathon on Sci-Fi. Oh, awesome, Marcia. Patrick Anybody. Hello from Japan. First saw you at Jimmy Doors. My real news here in Japan. Right on. I love Japan. I've been there numerous times. the movie I directed, Earbuds, the podcasting documentary, we shot a big part of it in Japan. There's a whole section in there about how podcasting helped people during the earthquake and tsunami in 2011. So I love Japan. I got friends in Japan. Love it. I don't drink coffee. I drink green tea. I study Japanese martial arts. I love Japan. EMDB can give you info on the 4 cuts of the Dune movie. Right on. Brian Crosby, East Coast time is my time. Right on. All right, here, let's go. Over to see if anybody donated on the Streamlabs. Oh, yes, they did. Only in America. Thank you. Shave Knuckles for Justice. Only in America can people use Prime Now to provide much-needed supplies to homeless people, while its CEO, Bezos, has enough money to end the epidemic for good. I know. It's crazy. It's so wonderful that people do that, and you know that when someone crowdfunds like a surgery or something, that people do that, which really, a friend of mine explained it. It's just like a tax on good people. Jeff Bezos could just end homelessness. He should just say, I'm taking, 20 billion of my $158 billion from all the Amazon Prime subscriptions, and I'm going to end homelessness. Everybody gets a shelter and health care and food and a house to live in. I'm going to build a bunch of studio apartments for homeless people to live in, and multi-bedroom for homeless families. And everyone's going to get mental illness checks and food and shower and, dignity, human dignity. Of course, people are going to use Prime to help. I mean, it's good that Americans mostly have this we have this desire to help. I think most people in the West, most people on the planet have an innate need to let's help each other. But then the 1%ers in the system keeps us all fighting with each other and so stressed out. We got to work. We don't have money. It's just unreal. But thank you, Only in America, Balthazar Tutoy, for supporting the show on the Streamlabs. I appreciate it. Sam Dean. Sam, you haven't answered. Cricket, what's your game? Come on, you're an Aussie. Which is the one? 100% Canadian maple syrup. Thanks. I'll be quiet till I have something smart to say. This podcast is sick. We'll be sure to follow. Yeah, buddy. I'm sure a lot of progressive friends would love to. Right on. Yeah, spread the word, guys. Anytime you spread the word, it's fantastic. Back to Dune, the David Lynch version takes a ton of artistic license, and the miniseries was closer to the first 3 or 4 books. I still like the Lynch versions. Empathy must be regrown. Nice. Hockey. Born-ass, dank-ass. Bomb-ass, dank-ass. Sorry for mispronouncing your God-given name. What would your solution to challenge political power when the party system is so obviously corrupt? Unions? I think there's a lot of solutions to that. Great question. There's unions. There is, as we talked about, the town hall meetings and everything that Ralph Nader was talking about, going to town hall meetings, just getting more active. I don't think there's one solution. Do you know what I'm saying? I think being so vocal. So look at the PAYGO thing. They passed that on Thursday. Everybody went nuts Thursday and Friday. And now they're introducing legislation to get rid of PAYGO. All these people have backpedaled on wanting to get rid of Obamacare, have backpedaled on not being fans of Medicare for All, because we keep hammering them. We don't let them stop. On social media, we call them, we show up at town hall meetings, we rally, we protest. It's got to be all those things. Voting for politicians that won't take corporate money, like Tulsi Gabbard and Ocasio-Cortez, not fake, like Kamala Harris says it, but then she still gets big, rich CEOs donate privately to her. That's how she and many others get around that when they say, I'm not taking corporate money. It's a scam. So there's a lot of ways. Voting for open primaries, petitioning for ranked choice voting. That's part of changing the election process to open it up to where we can actually get real legislation and get the money out of politics. So there's a lot of different ways. Sam D, thanks for supporting the show, brother. Australia and America will always be allies, but the next president might need to do some of those sorry about the billing mistake calls to a few countries. Yeah, the last guy was a little nuts. I'm sorry. Okay, but your whole country is nuts. Are you going to? No, you're right. We're going to need to get a real progressive in the White House with a progressive cabinet and eventually get a progressive House and a progressive Senate. That will really move things in the right direction. And then we just gotta, it's actions speak louder than words, not just Pelosi, lead with our values, Chuck Schumer, rah, rah, get a progressive president that just starts passing bill after bill, starts a Green New Deal, gets the whole country on board, stop spending all this money on war, stop all this drone striking, putting people to work, helping everybody. That will do it. That'll do it, I think. It's a good point, though, Sam. Thanks for supporting the show. Yeah. Natural progressive. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I knew I wasn't going to do one tomorrow, so I added this one today. But thanks for joining us. I know I'm not supposed to be on until tomorrow. I'm sorry. Don't give Bezos any ideas. I really feel the Dems are already setting up for fail and we get Trump another 4 years. That's a legitimate concern, man. It's a legitimate. I don't disagree with that. I want to see them. They turn around on this Pagel thing. I don't know. Maybe they'll wake up. We're already seeing they're trying to smear Bernie. Anyone who brings up issues of Warren is a sexist. I mean, they're already playing those games. They're still playing this 1990s playbook. It's insane. So Sam Dean, so the original version of The Big Boss with Bruce Lee. I know the important bits. Yeah, then watch Enter the Dragon, his last movie. That's the true concept of Bruce Lee. And also read these books, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, which is the martial arts style he studied, and Striking Thoughts. It's a bunch of his thoughts that are rooted in some Confucianism. And, Bruce Lee was about studying everything and finding the thing. He was about no style, no form, no rigidity in thinking, no like this religion says this or this, like find the best unifying thing between all of us. Striking Thoughts and The Tao of Jeet Kune Do are two amazing books by Bruce Lee. Read them. Patty tweets, how do we bust the two-party system? Get rid of closed primaries, super delegates, money in politics, keep voting progressive. Yeah, absolutely. It's all of those things. Like I was saying, it's a great point. All of those things. Get the wins where we can get them and try to get them from all sides. Because that's what it's going to take. I say this all the time. It's death from 1,000 cuts. That's how you take down the big and the powerful. You can't face them head on. You got to go death from 1,000 cuts. And, getting people like Ocasio-Cortez in Congress is a big deal. And putting pressure on people is a big deal. Hey, Teremi, thank you so much for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles. Dems' only job is to keep country from moving left. Yep, and that's the thing. The Dems, yeah, they just keep the country. So that's the thing. You got to out left the Democratic Party. You got to run hard left, man. Go hard left. No centrism, no incremental nonsense. Go hard left. It's a good point. No, Fist of Fury is what Bruce was all about. The devotion, eating a dog in a cemetery, real kung fu. You're hilarious. Sam Dean, you're hilarious. It's Enter the Dragon, dude. Boards don't hit back. It's the art of fighting without fighting. Dan Campbell, boom. Thank you for supporting the show. Knuckles across America and the world. No time to watch, just saying hello, Graham. Dude, thank you so much for supporting the show. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. Let's go over to the good people at Streamlabs real quick. Nice. Thank you guys so much. All right, gang, it's right at the 90-minute mark. My voice is starting to get a little shot. Dan Campbell, thank you so much for supporting the show. The Johnny R, what's up, brother? Well, there'll be a season 2 of First Nations Comedy Experience on FNX. It doesn't look like it. So I think San Manuel that funds FNX didn't want to pay for a second season, but we are shopping it around, Micah and myself, at possibly doing it. Not that title, obviously, but like another Native American stand-up comedy TV series with somebody else like Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So we're shopping that around. In the meantime, you can watch Johnny R. He's a very funny comic who was on the show. I had the pleasure of working with him. He was, I was honored enough to have Johnny come and do the show. Go to fnx.org. You can watch, I haven't made a big announcement about this, but I have announced on my social media, all 13 episodes of the FNX Comedy Experience on fnx.org or the FNX app. I will show you the app right here. Where is it? Where is it? FNX, there. There's the FNX app right there. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. Let me make sure I'm showing this. See that right there? That's the FNX app. It's got the FNX logo. So when you press it, there. First Nations Comedy Experience is the first thing you get. So you can watch all 13 episodes. Let me scroll through. Episode 9. Edie Gibson, Kane Holloway, Leah Mansfield, and John Roberts. That's who Johnny R is my guess. So thank you so much, Johnny R, Ventura 2020. Kate, thank you so much for supporting the show. Just tuned in. What's your shirt mean? Thank you for the book recommendations. What are you reading now? Looking forward to you in Chicago next month. Kate, this is my friend. I'm a rescue. My friend Tom Clark, who's a very funny comedian, does a bit in his act. He's adopted. He talks about being adopted, and then he sells these shirts. So if you type in comedian Tom Clark, you can probably buy one of these shirts through his website. He's a very funny guy. I've known him for years. That's what the shirt means. Can't wait to see you at the shows in Chicago. And thank you for supporting the show, man. You guys are rad. Boom, 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 boom. And I am a rescue. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to probably release a video that's kind of a big announcement for me to make on a personal level. That's why I'm not doing the show tomorrow. So I'm going to make that announcement and sort of chill. But thank you so much, Kate, for supporting the show. I think somebody else. Kung Fu. What happened? Natural Progressive, push issues on the people already in office. Stay together on message. The people need to stick together on issues we all want. That's the Natural Progressive. Chris, thank you so much. That is a great point. She has a great YouTube channel. Check it out. She does a lot of great reporting about Utah and issues around there and all over the place. But that's a great point, Chris. Push issues on the people already in office. Hammer them. They voted yes on PAYGO. Hammer them. Email them. Tell them, no, I don't want this. What are you doing? I'm going to vote you out. We voted for you to represent us. You're not doing it. Let them know, man. Be vocal on social media. Call their office. Let them know. That's a great point. And we got to stick together. Don't back down. And then when some crazy accusation comes up, do some research and investigating. You guys do that. That's why you're getting your news on YouTube. Do research and don't just like, ooh, see some meme and flip out. Stay on them, man. Chris is right. Watch The Natural Progressive, guys. Can we get the girly voice version of the original Star Trek? What is that? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, Sam. Oh, God bless you. You're fantastic for making me do that. Thank you, Dan Campbell. Thank you, Kate. Forgot to answer this question, Kate. What am I reading now? I'm reading Striking Thoughts. I'm also reading this book, the Tao of Fully Feeling, which is a very good book. And I'm reading my friend Chris Mancini has a graphic novel, and I'm blanking on the name of it. It's right over there, and I'm connected with it. I can't go that far. God, he's going to kill me. He worked on this thing for years. It's a graphic novel that he wrote. It's really funny. Sorry. So that's what I'm reading now. Sorry, Kate. I hope that answered all your questions. But yeah, The Tao of Fully Feeling is a really good book. I was reading this, and I've kind of I want to go back to it, but this is another good book, is American Power. Let me make sure I got this right. Noam Chomsky. It's about the Vietnam War, but his criticisms of the United States government and it's the way it's spending money on war is still very, oddly enough, this may sound shocking, still applicable today. I talk about the Dark Overlord? What? I don't know what that means. You got the Star Trek and the girly voice. FNX.org. With the Cubbies app, yeah. Thanks. I will not be doing a stream tomorrow. Anyone see anything good in the Dark Overlord release? No, I have not seen anything good in the Dark Overlord release. I have not seen that yet. I'll give you $100 if you sing the original Star Trek theme. Didn't I just do it in the girly voice? I don't know the theme song. Spice, the Final Frontier. Did I just sing it? Oh God, that's so funny. Come to Halifax. I would love to. Is Darianne getting engaged? I don't know. I think Darianne might be. I can't keep track of all the people she dates. I ask her, and there's Chad, and then there's Ryan, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Chad is such a lucky guy. He's a very lucky guy. I'm not doing a live stream tomorrow, but I'm gonna release a video. Do it properly, mate. We have the internet reminder. All right, let me see. All right, theme from Star Trek. Is it in? I don't. There's no lyrics to it. How do I sing it? Originally scored under the title or known as an Indian musical piece composed by Alexander Courage. The music was played over both the opening and closing credits. Space, the Final Frontier. All right. Let's see. Let's do it. There we go. with this now. Hold on. Let me get this going. No, I don't want that damn song. What is this? Hold on. Here we go. Long Ago and Far Away is the graphic novel. That's the graphic novel. Darian knows a lot of stuff. Do it properly, mate. That's what the internet's for. All right, here we go. Space, the final frontier. The voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Mission. All the new worlds. New life, a new civilization. Boldly go where no man has gone before. Ooh. Ooh. That's all I got, man. Oh, I think my neighbors heard me. That one's just for you, Sam. God bless you. Sorry, I gotta stop all this stuff. Any possible sightings in Chicago? Yeah, I'll be all over the place in Chicago. Never was. I'm glad you guys like this. I have my own backing track, absolutely. What does Darian think of Star Trek? Hey guys, so like this kind of old comedian neighbor guy who's kind of weird, this guy Graham. I mean, I love him, he's a sweetheart. He made me watch this weird Star Trek show or whatever with these like people in these like tight pants or whatever. And one guy's like ears and he does that thing, which I was like totally cool. I just thought that was like a big V, like, we're gonna party. So, hey guys, Vulcan blessings, thoughts and Kirks. So thanks for watching Star Trek. That's what she thinks. She was Shatner spoken word. All right, I gotta keep going. I sound like a rabbit in the Skittles commercial. Star Trek blessings. You guys are fantastic. I cannot get enough of all of you. You guys are great. Vulcan blessings. So I want to thank everybody first that donated over on the Streamlabs. Abigail Shapiro, I was wrong that even though I detest Ben, you only debate skill is Gish Galoping, sharper image, but I find his sister Abigail Shapiro attractive. Nice, thank you so much. And Brownie Points, thank you for donating to the show. And Only in America, Hell No Pago, Green Thongs, thank you so much for doing Chicago. I'm glad Chicago was able to produce You and Jimmy Dore, but they still haven't figured out how to produce pizza. Oh, please. They've figured out how to make a 45-minute tomato casserole. All right. We're not going to get it. I'm not going to get into a pizza thing. You must be from New York. You guys are so great. You almost Shatnered in my pants. Thank you, Laura Goad. Thank you, Star Trekkers. You guys are great. We're going to be in Florida. Please come to see us in Florida. Go to grahamallett.com for all my tour dates. I want to thank everybody that donated on the Super Chat and the YouTube. Danny Knapp, thank you so much. Shave the Knuckles for Justice. BC Thomas, thank you for supporting the show. Shadow Zach 09, boom. Shave all the knuckles, bro. Sam Dean, good day, mate. Good to have you on the stream. Patty Tweets, thank you so much. We'll see you in New York in June. Sam Dean again, boom. Shave the knuckles, but in the other direction. You're underneath the equator. You got to shave them the other way. Sam Dean again. Come on, buddy. Tara May and Dan Campbell, thank you so much. Boom. Justice. Kate, thank you, Kate. We'll see you in Chicago next month. Sam Dean, right on, dude. Boom. Footy, rugby, cricket, I'm in. The Natural Progressive, Chris, thank you so much. Watch our show on the YouTube. And Kate, thank you so much. I'll see you in Chicago. Boom again. Shave the Knuckles for Justice. You guys are all fantastic. Vulcan Vegan Smoothies, everybody. We're going to get the Streamlabs right on. Peace. Live long and prosper. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. I love all of the support that all of you give, and I love this. Got 100 people watching, 100 thumbs up. Man, this was awesome. What a great stream. So we'll see you next week, either Saturday or Sunday. I'll have to make that announcement from the road, but if you're in Florida and you come to one of the live shows, please come up and say, hey, we love meeting. We do meet and greet after every show. You don't have to buy anything. Just photos, autographs are free. Come out. Stay progressive, everybody, and know that you are making Gotham great again.